Have you ever stood in front of the fridge, wondering what's actually good for you anymore? You've tried cutting out the sugar, trimming the salt, drinking more water, but still, something feels like it's missing. Maybe it's not about what you've taken away, but what you haven't added. After 70, your body is still working hard for you. Your heart, your bones, your brain, they're all still clocking in, day after day. And they deserve the kind of fuel that doesn't just keep you alive, but helps you thrive. Because yes, even in your 70s, 80s, and beyond, you can absolutely add more life to your years. So, let's talk about food, not as a strict diet, not as a list of rules, but as a gentle shift. A handful of small, delicious changes that could help you stay active longer, feel sharper, sleep better, and even live a few more vibrant years. Let's start with something simple and sweet. Blueberries. They may look like just a topping for your oatmeal or something your grandkids snack on, but blueberries are one of nature's most powerful gifts for aging bodies. They're full of antioxidants, specifically something called anthocyanins, which help fight inflammation and protect the brain. In fact, several studies have shown that seniors who eat blueberries regularly perform better on memory tests. And we're not talking buckets of them, just a small handful a few times a week. Toss them into your yogurt, blend them into a smoothie, or even just eat them straight from the bowl. And here's a little secret. Frozen blueberries work just as well, so you can keep a bag in your freezer ready whenever you need a brain boost. Now, while we're on the topic of small foods with big power, let's talk about nuts. You might be thinking, aren't nuts high in fat? Yes, and that's exactly why they're so good. Nuts are full of the right kind of fat, healthy fats that support your heart, reduce inflammation, and help keep your cholesterol in check. Walnuts, in particular, have been linked to better brain function. Almonds are great for your bones, and even a few Brazil nuts a week can help support your thyroid, thanks to their selenium. The key is moderation. Just a small handful a day, unsalted if possible, is enough to make a real difference. Keep them in a jar on the counter so they're easy to grab. Mix them into salads, or even pair them with a bit of dark chocolate after dinner, which, yes, can also be good for you in small amounts. Here's what I love about adding these foods into your routine. They're simple. You don't have to reinvent your meals. You don't need a meal plan written by a dietitian with a PhD. You just need a few consistent changes. Tiny shifts that add up to real, meaningful results. You might not feel it the first week, or the second. But by week 3, you'll start to notice your energy lasting longer throughout the day. Your joints aching a little less. Your digestion moving a little smoother. Your mind feeling a touch sharper when you go to read the paper or remember where you put the keys. That brings us to another food that doesn't always get the spotlight, but absolutely should. Leafy greens, spinach, kale, Swiss chard, even good old romaine. These greens are full of fiber, folate, and vitamin K, which helps protect your bones and may even reduce your risk of cognitive decline. Now, if the idea of chewing through a pile of kale every day doesn't sound fun, that's okay. You can sneak greens into all sorts of meals. Scramble them into your morning eggs, stir them into soups, blend a small handful into a fruit smoothie. You won't even taste them under the berries and banana. And if fresh greens feel like too much work to wash and chop, go for frozen. They're picked at peak ripeness and frozen right away, often even more nutritious than fresh by the time you cook them. Food doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't need to be gourmet, but it does need to serve your body, not slow it down. And let's not forget, eating well isn't just about the food itself. It's about what it gives you. More time to spend with your family, more energy to garden, walk, play, dance, laugh, more clarity for your thoughts, more power in your stride, more peace of mind when you look in the mirror and say, I'm doing something good for me. You deserve that. At 70, 80, 90, you deserve to feel nourished, not just full. And it starts with small, loving choices. one bite at a time. Now that we've looked at blueberries, nuts, and leafy greens, let's move towards something a little heartier, and that brings us to lentils. Now, I know, lentils might not sound exciting. They're not trendy, they're not flashy, but they are one of the most nutrient-dense, affordable, and easy-to-prepare foods you can eat. Especially after 70. Lentils are packed with plant-based protein, fiber, and essential minerals like iron and magnesium. That means they're good for your heart, your digestion, and your blood sugar, all in one spoonful. For older adults, lentils can also be a gentle way to support muscle strength without relying too much on meat, which some of us may digest less easily these days. And the best part? They're incredibly versatile. You can toss them into soups, mix them with rice, make a warm lentil salad, or even mash them up into patties for a meatless burger that actually tastes good. They also cook fast. Unlike some other legumes, most lentils don't even require soaking. Just simmer them in water or broth for about 20 minutes, and you've got a meal. And here's a tip. Add a little bit of lemon juice or vinegar after they're cooked. Not only does it brighten the flavor, but the acid helps your body absorb more of the iron. That's especially helpful if you've been told your levels are low, or you've felt a bit more tired than usual lately. Now, before we move on, I want to say this. You don't have to love lentils. If they're not your thing, that's okay. The real takeaway here is to embrace more plant-based, fiber-rich foods that help your body stay balanced, energized, and supported. Speaking of balance, let's talk about something most people overlook when they think about food for longevity. Fermented foods. These might be new to you, or they might remind you of what your grandmother used to keep in the cellar. Things like yogurt, kefir, sauerkraut, kimchi, and miso. What do they all have in common? They're loaded with probiotics, good bacteria that live in your gut and help keep everything in your system running smoothly. As we age, our digestion changes. Our stomachs produce less acid. We might feel more bloated or have slower bowels. And that's not just uncomfortable. It can affect our immune system, our mood, even our memory. Adding small servings of fermented foods to your diet can help restore that healthy gut balance. And no, you don't need to go on a full-blown probiotic plan. Even a little spoonful of sauerkraut with lunch or a few sips of kefir in the morning can make a real difference over time. Try this. Start your day with a small bowl of plain yogurt, no added sugar. Top it with those blueberries we talked about, and maybe a sprinkle of flaxseed or walnuts. That's a gut-friendly, heart-supporting, brain-boosting breakfast that takes just minutes to prepare. Or warm up some broth and whisk in a spoon of miso paste. Instant comfort food with powerful benefits for your microbiome. And if you've never tried kimchi before, it's okay to start slow. Just a forkful on the side of your dinner plate. Think of it like a bright, tangy vitamin that actually tastes good. By now, you're probably noticing a pattern. These aren't extreme foods, they're not expensive. They're not even that hard to find. But they work together to do something remarkable. Help your body stay young from the inside out. Blueberries help your brain. Nuts protect your heart. Greens strengthen your bones. Lentils fuel your muscles. Fermented foods heal your gut. It's not about changing everything you eat overnight. It's about gently building a plate that feels more like a friend than a checklist. A plate that supports you through the years. Not just today, but 5, 10, 15 years from now. And here's something I want to leave you with as we keep going. These choices are not just about adding years to your life. They're about adding life to your years. Because no one wants to live longer if they're tired, forgetful, achy, and isolated. We want those years to feel good, to wake up with energy, to sit down to a meal that feels like nourishment, not sacrifice, to feel proud of the care we're giving our bodies. We've talked about 4 foods so far, each with its own benefits, its own way of helping you feel better, think clearer, move stronger. But there's one more on our list. One final food that most people think of as a treat, but might actually be your secret to staying young at heart. And it starts with a deep golden color, and it's turmeric. You've probably heard of turmeric as the golden spice often used in curries. But this bright yellow powder, made from the root of the turmeric plant, has been used for thousands of years in both cooking and traditional medicine. And modern science is finally catching up. The reason turmeric is so powerful lies in one word: curcumin. That's the active compound in turmeric that gives it its color and its remarkable anti-inflammatory properties. Now, you might be wondering why inflammation matters so much. The truth is, as we age, many of the conditions we face, from arthritis to heart disease to cognitive decline, are linked to chronic inflammation. It's like a slow fire burning in the body, doing damage quietly over time. Turmeric, particularly curcumin, can help reduce that fire. It's like a gentle extinguisher that works behind the scenes to protect your joints, your brain, and even your mood. Some studies suggest curcumin may also play a role in preventing Alzheimer's, easing joint pain, and improving memory. That's a big deal, especially when you're over 70 and trying to stay independent, mobile, and mentally sharp. So how do you add turmeric to your life? You can sprinkle it into soups, blend it into smoothies, or stir it into scrambled eggs. You can even make a warm cup of golden milk before bed. Just heat up some milk or a plant-based alternative. Add a teaspoon of turmeric, a pinch of black pepper, and a bit of honey. It's comforting, calming, and deeply nourishing. And yes, you did hear that right. Black pepper. It actually helps your body absorb curcumin more effectively. Without it, most of the turmeric might pass right through your system. Just a pinch can make all the difference. Now, some folks take turmeric supplements, and that's okay too. But if you can add it naturally into your meals, that's always the gentler, more sustainable approach. Food is medicine, especially when you treat it that way. So let's take a breath and look at everything we've talked about today. Blueberries, for brain health and memory. Leafy greens, to keep your bones strong and your blood flowing. Lentils, for protein, fiber, and energy without the heaviness. Fermented foods, to balance your gut and boost your immunity. Turmeric, to soothe inflammation and protect your body as a whole. None of these are magic. You don't need to run out and fill your fridge overnight. But just imagine, what if you made one of these a daily habit? What if your breakfast tomorrow had blueberries and yogurt instead of a sugary pastry? What if dinner included a handful of sautéed spinach or a warm lentil stew? The beauty of small changes is that they build on each other. Like layers in a painting, each one adds richness. And before long, your life feels brighter, clearer, stronger. And here's the truth: you're not too old to start. I talk to people every week who say things like, "Oh, it's too late for me," or "That ship has sailed." But it hasn't. Your body is still listening. Your mind is still adapting. Your cells are still renewing. Every bite you take is a message to your future self. You can send that message with cookies and soda, or with turmeric and berries in a big glass of water. The choice is yours. And you deserve to feel good. I also want to say this: these aren't just foods to help you live longer. They're foods that help you live better. More focus, more energy, fewer aches and pains, more joy in simple routines. Imagine walking into the kitchen, opening the fridge, and knowing that everything inside is working for you, not against you. That's power. That's peace of mind. So whether you're 71, 78, or 84, these 5 foods can make a difference. And remember, the goal isn't perfection. You don't need to eat perfectly every day. You just need to make choices with care, with love, with the understanding that your body has carried you through so much and still has so much left to give. It's never about adding years just for the sake of numbers. It's about adding quality, about waking up with less pain and more purpose, about remembering names, staying active, and doing the little things, like dancing in the kitchen, laughing with your grandkids, or feeling good enough to walk to the store and back with ease. So if you're watching this and wondering if it's worth it, if it's too late to start eating healthier, hear this. Yes, it is worth it. And no, it is never too late. You've got wisdom, experience, and strength that the world needs. These small changes, they help keep you here, feeling good, doing what you love, and being the incredible person you already are. You know, people often ask me what the real secret to aging well is. And I tell them, it's not just about green smoothies, exercise, or fancy supplements. It's about consistency, curiosity, and compassion for yourself. Because when you treat your body like something worth caring for, it tends to respond with gratitude. That's why these 5 foods matter. Not just because of their nutrients, but because of what they represent. Daily acts of self-care. When you choose yogurt over chips, or spinach over white bread, you're telling yourself, I still matter. I'm still growing. I still get to choose how I live. And those choices add up. Maybe not all at once, but slowly, in the clarity of your thoughts, in the ease of your joints, in how you sleep, how you smile, how you show up for yourself and the people who love you. And it's not just about what you add. It's also about what you gently start to let go of. Maybe you've been relying on fast food more than you want to admit. Maybe soda has become a habit that doesn't really bring you joy anymore. Maybe bread and butter are your comfort, but leave you feeling heavy or foggy afterward. You don't need to give anything up overnight. But notice how you feel. Just pay attention. Your body speaks through your energy, your digestion, your mood, and when you start to fuel it with intention, those signals get clearer. I want to leave you with something I heard from a 93-year-old woman I met at a wellness event last year. She stood up during a Q&A and said, I didn't start eating healthy until I was 79. But now I walk to the market every day. I do my puzzles. And my grandkids say, I have more energy than they do. Everyone clapped. And she smiled and said, I'm not trying to live forever. I'm just trying to enjoy the time I've got. That stuck with me. And I think it might stick with you too. Because that's what this video is really about. Not just foods that extend your life, but foods that expand your life, that give you the energy to say yes to things again, that help you feel grounded, focused, and calm in a world that moves fast and forgets to pause. Let these small choices be your way of pausing, of checking in, of saying, I care about this moment. I care about what's next. So whether you're watching this with a hot cup of tea or listening on your walk, or maybe just scrolling late at night while the house is quiet, take a second. Breathe. Ask yourself, what's one thing I can try this week? Maybe it's blueberries at breakfast. Maybe it's a lentil soup. Maybe it's just remembering to eat before you get too tired to care what's on your plate. Whatever it is, start there. Start small, but start. Because every age is the perfect age to take your health seriously. And every day is a new invitation to feel better, think clearer, and live longer. If this video helped you, I hope you'll take a moment to let me know. Leave a comment below. Tell me what your go-to brain food is, or what you're planning to add to your meals this week. And if you haven't yet, please like this video and subscribe to the channel. We're building a kind, curious, and supportive community of people just like you. People who want to age with intention and joy and strength. You don't have to do this alone. Let's keep learning together. Let's keep growing. Here's to your health. And here's to living your best life at every age.